Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today for our discussion on Dell client peripherals. We're really happy to have you here with us and connecting with members of the community as well as Dell experts. Feel free to post in the chat where you're joining us from. I know we have a very broad group with the Dell client community coming from all over the world. It looks like Ray's joining us from Chicago, and I'm sure a lot of you are joining us from Carl from Switzerland. So as you can see, global group with us here today. So just a couple Zoom reminders as I usually go through throughout our webinars. Just want to let everyone know that this is being recorded, so you will have access to it post-event on the website in the media center, so you can access it on demand. Just remember to stay mute while presenters are speaking, and if there's any questions, you can utilize the chat or you can use the raise hand function and we will unmute you so you can ask your question live. This event is also done via Zoom meeting. So you have the ability to turn on your camera, say hi to us, and then you could also connect with members of your community. You can send them a direct message. You know, we have some people from India, from Michigan, maybe shoot them a message if they're from the same state or even country as you, and just to say hi. This is kind of the best way that we have at this moment in time to connect with each other. So I hope you take advantage of it. And of course, have fun, connect with everybody. Some upcoming event reminders. So we have coming up next week, we have our Latitude event with a panel of Latitude experts. And then Dhiren Patel, who we all know very well, will be joining us for our Optimizer 3.0 conversation. So feel free to go to the website. Be sure to look out for emails from member services with more details on those events. And speaking of events, we do have a referral program going on right now. So we're really encouraging you guys to refer your friends, refer your colleagues to these events so we can spread the word about the community and, you know, getting more people to connect with each other virtually. We'll be collecting this data per each event. And each referral is equal to 1 point. So with each event that we have going through the end of June, we'll be updating a leaderboard. So each webinar, each C3 event that we have, I'll be showing the leaderboard during this introduction so you can kind of see where you land there. I'll be sharing the top 10 people so you can kind of see you know, where you are in the hunt. Our top prizes here, so first place will be getting a drone set. Second place will be getting a UV water bottle that sanitizes itself. It's very cool. And then also a anti-theft computer bag. So some really cool prizes there. So hope you guys take advantage of that. And then of course, you know, more opportunities to win prizes, but of course, give us some feedback because we definitely want to know if we are hitting the mark with these webinar events for you. So we'll be selecting 4 lucky survey participants to win an Amazon gift card for those who participate in our post-event survey. We'll be putting the link in the chat after this event and be sending you an email via member services as well. We have some great speakers with us here today. We have Frank, Kat, and Sid. They are all experts in Dell client peripherals, and they're really excited to share their knowledge with you here today and answer some of your questions. With that, I will hand it off to you, Sid, so we can discuss docking.
Sounds good. Let me share my screen here. All right, y'all, let me know you can see my screen. Can you see the PowerPoint pulled up?
We sure can, Sid. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Hey, so hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, depending on where you are. My name is Sid Raghuvanshi. I'm the product manager for Docs, more focused on our new launches and what's already in the market. I actually also have Jerian Matthews today. He'll be here. You know, if you have any questions, you want to type up in the chat. You know, I'm sure Jerian and even I at a later time can definitely answer those. So please don't be shy. So I'll get going. My focus today is to start off showing you, firstly, how we are categorizing our docs this year based on workspaces. And then I will probably dive a little deeper on one doc, right? just one new exciting dock I think we've just launched. So let's start with this slide. This year, as I said, our working style has changed so much over the last 2 years, right? So with that, what we are doing this time is basing our docks on those working spaces. We have the WD docks, which is office assigned desk. So think of this for those folks who go into the office, connect to that one, connect to the same laptop. So they have their own personal desk. They connect the same laptop to the same dock every day. So this is great for those people who want a more expansive setup of video and data ports. It also has a lot of benefits of pairing a Dell dock with a Dell notebook. So also gives the IT decision makers a lot of flexibility, because if you have the older WD-19 docks, you can still upgrade by just purchasing the upgrade module. So I think that's great. The second space is the UD, Universal Dock. This is more of shared workspaces, right? Think of hoteling spots. Again, something that's really become big in the last year, as people now often just go into the office a couple of days. So the Universal Dock lets you have a similar experience regardless of the brand of laptop you have or even different OSs. It also relies on Display Link quite a bit. So if you have Display Link drivers installed on your notebook, you can expect to get pretty similar experience regardless of the notebook you're using. So that's, I think, the great benefit of these docks. So that's why it's a great fit for IT managers if they're looking for something to deploy in these shared workspace environments. Finally, the one new category that super excited about is home docks. So this is more geared towards people working from home. Over the past couple of years, so many of us have shifted to work from home. I, for one, have not gone into work for a full workday in the last 2 years, right? So with that in mind, this is a dock which is a more compact dock, takes less space on your home office desk. It will still give you some of the benefits of pairing a Dell notebook with a Dell dock. But think of this as a more simplified version of the WD docks. You still get all the essential, supportability, video, data, peripherals, but in a smaller size and more modern design. Okay, so with that, having level set that, and this is again how our new docks. These are all the new docks we have this year, and how they kind of fit into these categories. The green box that you see highlighted is what I'm going to present today and give you more details on. Okay. So here is our Dell Dual Charge, the HD22Q. Before I go further, I will go ahead and play a video. Hopefully, that gets you excited. Let me see. Sorry, I'm going to make sure I share sound. Okay. Let me know if you cannot.
Take the whole city down with this. I take the whole city down with this. I'm a Palisade swinging on a helicopter blade, eating fish fillet. When I'm done, I'll be on the way. Just to be frank, it's not for the faint of heart. And the only question left is, where do we start? I take the whole city down with this. It's everything. The voice inside your head said that you can do anything. You start to feel the power, feel the bravery and courage tugging your heartstrings. It's not over. I take the whole city down with this. I take the whole city down with this. I take the whole city down with this. I take the whole city down with this.
Hopefully that came through fine, and hopefully the music got you pumping. So hopefully I have your attention now even more. So let me proceed. I'll give you a quick overview of this dock here. So this dock, is the first laptop docking station that has a wireless charging stand that can wirelessly charge your Qi-capable smartphones and earbuds. This is a dock that really lets you stay connected and productive. And what I mean is, Now that you have your phone in an upright stand in front of you, while you're working, you say you have a notification, you want to read an email, message, you want to answer a call, you can do that all without having to take your phone off the charging stand on the dock, right? So now it's charging, but you can still leave the phone as is. It's conveniently positioned for you to still, use your phone and then go back to your displays that's connected to this dock. So we have two video ports. We have a DisplayPort 1.4 and an HDMI 2.1. It's the first Dell dock that has HDMI 2.1. So you can connect to up to dual 4K at 60 Hertz with these ports. Also, keep in mind, I think we have 5 USB ports that let you connect peripherals. So you have a lot of options to connect different peripherals if you want. This is also a pretty convenient dock from a work from home setup. And what I mean with that is, I think the fact now that you can wirelessly charge your smartphone means one lesser cable, which means a little cleaner desk. Also, it can provide up to 90 watts of power delivery to your notebook. So that's another way of charging. So you can charge your notebook, which is again a decent power delivery that covers a wide range of notebooks. One thing I did not mention, the wireless charging is a 12-watt wireless charging. So that's the Qi wireless charging that's happening. And in the end of the day, I think it also takes less space on your desk, right? This is 40% smaller than our current W19 docks, which are probably our most selling docks that we have in the market. So the point being, this takes even lesser space because not everyone has a big work from home desk, especially with more than one people working from home. So I think that's another added benefit of this dock being positioned on a more work from home setup. Let me show you. This is a view again to show you the different ports. I already told you the video ports. These are the two video ports I was mentioning. Of the 4 USB-A ports, 2 are at the back, but the other 2 are pretty conveniently located on the side for quick access. We also have another USB-C on the side with power delivery. This right here is a fabric, and this is a rest on which you will place your phone. And once your device is charging, the LED light becomes solid white to kind of indicate that your device is being charged. Behind this fabric are copper coils. This kind of an exploded view. So these are the copper coils that are basically charging your device wirelessly through induction. And you can see they're a pretty wide spread coils so that you can charge your phone of different sizes and in different orientations. Again, assuming your phone is capable of Qi wireless charging. Okay, so I think this is a pretty cool view to look at to see what's going on inside. I already talked about wireless charging, but just kind of to recap, okay, pretty self-explanatory how you place your phone. You just place your phone on this phone rest here, and your indication that it's charging is obviously your LED will light up. So I think pretty straightforward. Just as long as you're within the domain of the dock, so it should be good. Said earlier, different orientations are supported. You can have a taller smartphone, a slightly smaller. You can even go landscape mode. All these different orientations are supported thanks to the 3 copper coils we have behind that fabric. We also, as I said, charge earbuds. For earbuds, you got to be a little careful in the sense that eventually it might depend on the brand of earbuds you use. But for most cases, we tested this with Samsung, Apple. You should be able to charge your earbuds when they're placed sideways with the lid facing left or right. In fact, in Apple AirPods, it charges even if your lid is facing downwards. And the reason we suggest these orientations is this is where we see a pretty good, touch point between the charging part of the case for the earbuds and our copper coils, right? That's why the recommendation. But as I said, end of the day, depending on other brands, you might have to see, but in most cases, it should work fine, be placed sideways, okay? So, sorry, I'm just doing a quick time check here. Okay. The thing I want to spend time is displays, last few minutes. Displays obviously is one of the most important parts, right, of a doc, and also some things of great interest, and we get a lot of questions. I will try to balance out how deep I go from a technical perspective. I know a lot of the audiences are pretty well versed in some of these terms like HBR2, HBR3, displacement compression, but still let me give you a quick high level overview so that it makes more sense. Just think of this, HBR stands for high bit rate, right? So HBR2, what that means is it's the standard bandwidth of a laptop that has DisplayPort 1.2 functionality. So if you have a notebook which has DP 1.2, it will have a bandwidth of HBR2. And DP 1.4, which are more of the newer notebooks, most of the recent notebooks have DP 1.4, and they will be able to support bandwidths of HBR3. So understandably, HBR3 can support higher bandwidth than HBR2. Why that's important? Because the bandwidth available is that will decide the resolution of the monitors you can support, right? So if you want to support dual 4K, obviously you need more bandwidth, right? If you want to support dual FHD or QHD, then you might need slightly lesser bandwidth. So that's why I'm just trying to make sure we understand at a basic level why the HBR2, HBR3 terms are important. And finally, you see display stream compression. Display stream compression actually lets you multiply your bandwidth by 2 to 3 times. So if you look at section 2 and section 3, when you have HBR3 with no display stream compression and HBR3 with display stream compression, you can actually have 2 to 3 times more bandwidth. What happens in display stream compression is you're able to compress more bandwidth in that single USB-C connection that's going from your dock to your laptop, right? So this, you can push in more bandwidth, and then it can be decompressed on the side of the dock and able to support higher resolution of monitors, right? So again, hopefully you don't need to, be an expert, just at a high level, understand HBR2 supports slightly lower bandwidth, HBR3 more than that, and HBR3, the display stream compression, is the most bandwidth supported, okay? And you can see in this table how in row 1, you only see up to 2 full HD support, right? On row 2, you can actually now go up to 2 QHD because you have more bandwidth. You can see this 13 gigabits per second. Again, these are approximate numbers, right? The actual numbers might vary a bit, but now you can support up to 2 QHDs simultaneously. And in the third section, you can do dual 4K. So you can also actually do a single 8K, but obviously single 8K requires much more bandwidth. So you could only do a single 8K if you wanted to support an 8K monitor. We can also actually support a single 4K at 120 hertz, but that can only happen through the HDMI 2.1 port because that has the capability to support 4K at those high refresh rates. Again, there will be other limiting factors. So I think this table hopefully gives you a good overview of how your monitor support changes and how it also relies on the laptop you're using. Okay, we have 2 video ports, as I said earlier, but I will not go in deep into that. But just so you know, you can connect additional monitors through daisy chaining, right? Now you can only daisy chain to the monitor connected to the display port because you can only support daisy chaining through the display port video port, right? So in case for those people who do use that, that is still an option if you want to have more than 2 monitors. So just so you know. And in case you're wondering, display stream compression. So the newer Alder Lake systems, Intel Alder Lake CPU systems will support display stream compression. So our Dell notebooks with Alder Lake will support display stream compression. Even our Dell notebooks with, say, Tiger Lake, the previous generation CPUs, can support display stream compression, but that would not be from the Intel side. That will be more from the discrete graphics side. So if you have an NVIDIA discrete graphics, that can also drive display stream compression. Okay, so just again, I'm just trying to let you know high level what to expect, so that you have a little more information now when you look, or when you make your decisions on docs and pairing it with notebooks. Okay. Um, so I don't, let me see, Kristen, how much time do I have? Just want to make sure.
Yeah, I think we can, it looks like Chirian was answering some of the questions in the chat, which is great. I think we can move on to our next topic, but I have one question that I think we weren't able to answer. Keith is asking if there is an option for a longer USB-C connector, as sometimes it makes it hard to reach the laptop.
At this point on this dock, no. The USB-C is the cable is already connected, so we don't have right now the option, at least from the end user, to disconnect and put a long cable. So at this point, no. But that is something I know Chirian is looking at in future docks. But yeah, in short, for now, no on this dock.
Great. Thank you, Sid. I think now we're moving on to Frank.
Great, thank you. Let me get my share screen up. And here we go. You guys should see that now. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're sitting. I hope that everybody is having a wonderful day. My name is Frank Cunningham. I'm the North America product line manager for our collaboration accessories. So these would be the products that encompass basically everything from an accessory standpoint that enables us to do what we're doing right now. Both the audio and video components that allow us to do this. And this is an evolving space. Let me move to this next slide. This is an evolving space. This is an area where, we're all no strangers as to what's been happening over the last couple of years. And we're finding that what was relevant with these products, with these tools 2 years ago is different from what's relevant now. It's constantly changing, constantly evolving. Our strongest desire is to make sure that we're putting out the products that are not only relevant now, but will continue to be in the future. So we're monitoring trends. We're inviting feedback from all of our customers. Get your feedback through to your account teams, who can get it on through to our product group to make sure that, as pain points or issues with collaboration, kind of evolve, we can create the tools that help solve them. The one big highlight I want to talk about our portfolio as a whole before I kind of dive in is that everything is tested and validated on and across our Dell entire ecosystem, portfolio, and that we're really pushing forward. We understand that certification matters for these devices, seemingly more so than a lot of other kinds of tools that we might use, peripherals, accessories, et cetera. So we really take a teams first approach to our products as we develop them. Zoom is sort of a secondary, but when I talk about inviting feedback, get that feedback to your account teams and let them know if there is a platform that is becoming more relevant over time. We'd like to hear it. We'd like to know where we should be, investing that energy as we continue to monitor market data as well. So I'm going to jump right into our Dell Ultra Sharp webcam, the WB7022. We launched this product last June. Very, very proud of this product. We are calling it the world's most intelligent 4K webcam. And as class, you're going to see that intelligence feature, something that we like to talk about for a lot of our products, adding that as a Dell factor within our collaboration space. Specific to webcams, 2 years ago, we saw a lot of customers go home, grab whatever cameras they could off the shelves. There was a huge supply challenge as webcam demand went from almost nothing to one of our most important tools that we use. And a lot of low cost, low value kind of webcams flooded the market towards the end of 2020 as that to meet the demand that was important at that time. When we talk about trends over time, as we spend more and more of our lives on camera, like we're doing right now, some of us, we find that a lot of customers are really putting a lot of prioritization towards sort of a higher resolution to look our best and look better. Ditching those older cameras that they purchased to meet a very important need at the time and, evolving to a better resolution space. At the high end of that space, that's where the Ultra Sharp webcam sits. With a 4K resolution and advanced image processing. This is a Teams and Zoom certified camera. There are a lot of deep customizable features through both our Dell Peripheral Manager software as well as the Dell Display Manager software. Both of those will give you the access to prioritize and customize this to exactly fit the needs and the space that you're in. But right out of the box, the experience is great, and it matches the lighting in the room and gets you the best image, right out of the box. We've also included an AI auto framing feature in this so that if I had that turned on and was moving around the room to show something on a wall over here or over here, it would track my face and follow me to that space. Look for more, news from a webcam front from Dell in the very near future, and I'll leave it at that. But we're very excited to have led the way with webcams in our portfolio with a Dell Ultra Sharp webcam. Moving on, I want to talk to you a little bit about Dell Audio, specifically in this case, speakerphones and soundbars. We very recently launched a Dell speakerphone as well as our slim conferencing soundbar. And I'm going to kind of talk about both of them at the same time, as you find that the software features in both of these is identical. And then I'll give you some differentiating features as well, just so we can talk about which one is the right use case for the right platform. But I think that the main takeaway here is end user personal preference plays a lot in the audio space, what it is that you're looking at for your specific setup. If you're working from home, if you are a home user, do you have dogs barking? Are you co-sharing an office with someone else in the house, etc.? That's where we kind of want to talk about why we have different form factors here. Big three features for these products, an AI noise cancellation. Again, we want to call this the world's most intelligent team certified speakerphone and conferencing soundbar. That AI noise cancellation focuses on the frequency range of the human voice, the low and the high, and it cancels out the rest. And although you see the nice marketing photo of this positioned under the display and it looks great there visually, you can move it around with a very long cable, the Dell speakerphone specifically, move it around and have it right next to your keyboard. And if I were typing in my keyboard right now, you would not hear those keys. On the other hand, the Dell Slim Conferencing Soundbar is designed to fit with your P-series monitors and some U-series monitors with magnetic connectors at the bottom for that clean desktop appearance, clean desktop approach. In addition to AI noise cancellation, we have full duplex audio on both of these products. What that means is that multiple folks can talk into the speakerphone or soundbar at the same time, and it will differentiate multiple participants. And so as a secondary feature, especially on the Dell speakerphone, while we do prioritize it for home users, this also works well in a huddle space for small group gatherings, 3 to 5 people gathering around the speakerphone in an office setting. This can be a great solution for those smaller spaces. And finally, of course, we're not always on camera. We're not always in meetings. Sometimes we're sitting in a PowerPoint or an Excel spreadsheet. Great sounding products here. These have true stereo output. And with the Dell Peripheral Manager software, you can tweak the equalizer levels for the treble and the bass and all that sound that you would want to fill your space. The Dell speakerphone especially has a very, very good quality sound for a small space. Although it's not going to obviously take the place of a PC speaker, it is a great, great sounding product, and we're very proud of that. Again, from a form factor standpoint, one of these would be something that you would position across multiple platforms, and one of these is very specifically designed for that clean desktop experience with some of our select displays. We'll move on to the next product. This is another speakerphone that's been in our portfolio for a little while. This is your, I'm going to call it a mobile dock experience, mobile dock collaboration. It's a speakerphone adapter, the MH3021P. Now this one is Zoom certified and fully compatible with Teams and other platforms as well. And the primary use case for this, I was at Dell Technology World, for example, a couple of weeks ago. This was in my backpack. It made it to my hotel room, and I set it up with one of our travel monitors for dual monitor support. It can support a single display. It's got power pass-through, 2 USB-A ports and a USB-C port, as well as an HDMI port. This is a great mobile dock collaboration solution for those of us who are traveling or who are on the road. So, if you're interested in this product, please do reach out to your account team. I am going to move on to headsets, and then we'll. I see the chat filling up, so we'll hopefully have some time for questions. But specific to the headset market and where we're at with headsets, we find that again, end user preference is incredibly important. So while wired audio still continues to be the dominant factor in the market, we still see about 88 to 90% of all headset sales, not just Dell, but all across the board, being relegated to that wired headset. And that makes sense from an overall cost perspective and mass deployment perspective. Wired headsets are absolutely key. We do see, however, wireless continuing to grow as well, outpacing the growth of wired headsets. Again, as all of us are doing this kind of thing more often, the need for untethered audio really is important. So we do have two wireless options in this space. Moving from the top of the stack, and you'll see these first three are Teams and Zoom certified. Our WL7022 wireless headset comes with the charging stand included, as well as includes active noise cancellation. So it's a very powerful active noise cancellation. Again, with all of the sound that can be in your environment, it does cancel that out except for your voice. It has a smart sensor that it will pause or mute when you take the headset off. It is the product I am wearing right now. Dual mode connectivity, so it connects with both a USB-A dongle to your PC or dock, as well as Bluetooth. So I have mine paired to both my phone and to my PC right now, and I can answer calls on both. There are also all the expected indicator lights to indicate whether you're muted or unmuted or et cetera. It does include a travel pouch. Main differentiating factor between that and our WL5022 then is our 5022 has passive noise cancellation through the thicker ear pads. It's designed to be a little bit more, you can see the design differences between the two. You put it in the travel pouch that's included, throw it in your bag. This is more for your constantly moving end user. It does have a higher range Bluetooth. Bluetooth 5.0 will give you 4x the Bluetooth range for those who are primarily connecting to it through that device. And it doesn't get, as I said, have passive noise cancellation. And then finally, for the wired headsets, again, within the Team certification space, we do have our WH3022 wired, Team certified. It has all of the necessary controls right at your fingertips, inline controls, and then full flexibility for your microphone. All of these are currently shipping now, and with availability, speaking for the US, availability worldwide, check with your account team on what that looks like. I will end on, we do have a 1 series headset that we launched earlier this year. Our WH1022 is primarily for those super mass deployment use cases. We're talking call centers, primarily also as an EDU headset for education customers, for students. This is a bare bones, simple headset for those mass deployment use, and a great alternative to what you may be using. That's the super cheap headsets is a little bit more durable. It has a 3.5 millimeter connection as well as USB-A. That ends for collaboration right now. We have time for some of the questions in the chat. Kirsten, have you had a chance to look through some of them?
Yeah, definitely. So I have one from Lawrence here. He's wondering about the USB root hub overload on some systems, some older systems with a 4K webcam combined with other more standard peripherals. How will that affect the system?
Let's see. I see an answer from Divya on there as well. The 4K webcam works perfect with USB 3.0 port. And that's true. I will say, you do want to make sure you are plugged into a USB 3.0 port, because we have seen, even when I was doing that mobile solution I was describing earlier, I had to make sure that I was plugged in the correct ports, because power on the road is going to be important there. But if you are plugged into at least one 3.0 port with whatever your mobile solution is, docking or otherwise, you should be covered there. Were there other questions, or I see Divya has been answering those, so hopefully.
There's a question from Stephen asking if the wireless headsets are easily replaceable, if the batteries are easily replaceable.
They are rechargeable batteries, so there should be no need to replace the batteries. I will say all of these products are covered by a 3-year warranty. And so if there is a problem with the battery within that 3-year space, you can manage this through that warranty process. But yeah, we should be perfectly covered, without having to replace the batteries.
And is there a length of life on the batteries for the wireless headsets?
Yeah, 12 hours talk time for both headsets.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they should last you all throughout the day. And with the charging stand included on the 7000 series, you'll sit right next to you while you work and charge as you work. Great. Are there any other questions about any of these products? If not, I can continue on and hand it off to Kat.
Hey, Frank, can you go ahead and continue to share the presentation for Kat?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks, Frank. All right. Hi, everyone. I am Kat Gamboa. I am product line manager for North America for carrying cases, but I will touch on active pens, give you a quick overview. So thanks, Frank, for driving. So a couple things about active pens. I think a lot of times people don't know that we offer active pens here at Dell. But the benefits of active pens are you can draw and write naturally. You can, it's compatible with our Dell 2-in-1 laptops. Also has shortcut buttons where you can program them using our Dell Peripheral Manager. And then also peace of mind, they are tested with all of our Dell systems, and we do have a 3-year advanced exchange warranty, which I'll get into that in just a second. If you want to move to the next slide, Frank. We'll touch on the Dell Premier rechargeable pen. So this is really exciting because this pen is actually rechargeable. If you have a full charge, you're going to have 40 days of battery life, which is unheard of when it comes to active pens. For fast charging, you're going to get 80% of battery life with just charging for 20 minutes. Also, again, great, unheard of. This is something that we offer with our active pens. We do also have a tile locator. So we're the first active pen to actually have a tile locator. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but we have that sometimes with our phone to find our keys. So let's say you misplace the pen. You have it in the garage and you're in the kitchen. There is a 30-foot radius where you will hear a buzzer, a certain song, very unique, not similar to the other buzzers you have like on your phone and so forth. So you'll be able to find your pen if you misplace it, or if a kiddo grabs it, you'll be able to find it. So this is really exciting because again, we're the only ones that have a tile locator with our active pens. I mentioned the programmable buttons. This is great if you want to just have them to your shortcuts, your apps that you usually use, and you will be using you will program them with your Dell Peripheral Manager. Magnetic tethering. So it actually it's a magnet that attaches to your system. So your pen won't get lost, hopefully, right? But we do have that tile locator if it does. And then we do have, again, that 3-year advanced exchange service. So if you misplace it, you lose it, you broke it, whatever it may be, and within those 3 years, we will replace it for free. If you want to go to the next slide, Frank. All right, the Dell Active Pen, also known as the Pandora. So this one, no pairing required. So this is very exciting, right? Easy peasy, you don't have to deal with Bluetooth or anything like that. Also, it does have programmable buttons customized for your preferred shortcuts. We do have a 12-month battery life on this, which is really exciting as well. And it does also include the 3-year advanced warranty. So again, something happens to it within those 3 years, it will get replaced. I think that may be it, Frank, but if you want to go, yeah. I think that's it for active pens. I'm going to touch on carrying cases now, but if you do have any questions on active pens, go ahead and put them in the chat. Are there any in the chat right now, Kristen, for active pen?
Yes, so Carlos is asking if there are any apps that they can make potential customers aware of to work with active pens to make this more attractive. Carlos, or does that make sense to you, Kat?
I'd actually have to look into that. I'd have to ask the product line managers on if there's any specific apps, but were you going to ask something, Kristen?
I was just going to ask Carlos if he wanted to expand upon his question, but it sounds like this needs to be taken offline.
Yeah. We'll get that answer for you, Carlos. All right, good deal. We're going to touch on carrying cases. We have some really exciting product launches we launched earlier this year. We're going to touch on sustainability, logo options, and what it is that we offer when it comes to Dell branded. If you want to go to the next one, Frank. Thank you. All right, so we're very excited about our sustainability story. We've always paved the way when it comes to eco-friendly initiatives, and we currently use the EcoLoop process. This is a two-step process. One is weatherproofing, the second one being solution dyeing. And just a quick overview on solution dyeing. We dye pellets before it becomes fabric, before it goes into making the bag. That process alone is 92% less water waste, 62% less CO2 emissions, and 29% less energy usage. Huge impact on the environment. We've also included ocean-bound plastics and recycled water bottles to make the waterproofing in all of our cases. And I'm going to tell you the difference between recycled water bottles and ocean-bound plastics. Recycled water bottles is a proactive action. So when people actually recycle, they put it in the right bin. We go into that bin, we grab recycled water bottles to create our cases. Very exciting, very innovative, right? But again, that's a proactive action. When it comes to ocean-bound plastics, this is reactive, right? So this is when people are not recycling properly. So that means plastic is ocean bound and it's going to end up in our oceans and our beaches. We teamed up with Ocean Cycle Program. They sweep the beaches, they sweep the oceans to collect plastic, and that's what we use to create our cases as well. The equivalent of the plastic being collected from ocean-bound plastic is 11 water bottles to create each case. So great story, very innovative. And if you notice there are some notes. I'm sorry, I can't even see it with the comment box, but up to 132 metric tons of ocean-bound plastics have been diverted. So this is very exciting. We keep pushing for innovative ways to be sustainable. Our packaging is also made with 100% recycled content. So it's a well-rounded story when it comes to our Dell carrying cases. Frank, if you'd like to go to the next one. Thank you. These are our two new product launches that we had earlier this year. So the Urban Backpack, it comes in a dark gray and it does come in an ocean blue. It's also behind me. This is what we use the recycled water bottles for. Approximately 7 water bottles go into creating each one of these cases. And again, we do use that EcoLoop process, which is solution dyeing, very impactful to the environment. To the right, we have the EcoLoop Pro series, so backpack, briefcase, and sleeves. We use the ocean-bound plastics to create these cases. So again, very exciting, and it's a well-rounded story. If you want to go to the next one, thank you. Here you can see a little bit more detail on the Urban Backpack, very slim and sleek design. It is a 15-inch backpack, so it will fit your 15-inch systems. It does have mesh pockets, and again, like I mentioned, it goes through that EcoLoop process, and we use approximately 7 water bottles to create it. If you'd like to go to the next one. Thank you. Our Pro series. So I'm showcasing here the backpack, but for our entire Pro series, briefcase, backpack, and sleeve, it does have the Ocean Cycle certification. So when we teamed up with Ocean Cycle Program, we do get that certification that we use the ocean-bound plastics to create these cases. And again, approximately 11 water bottles, just the equivalent of plastic and water bottles, go into creating these cases. I'd like to also point out EVA foam. So EVA foam is actually found in the pocket of each one of our backpacks. It's added cushion for your client system. And just a cool note, it's actually found in our sneakers. So you can find that cushiony stuff in our sneakers for added shock absorbent, for added protection, and it's shock absorbent as well. If you were to drop your backpack with your client system in it, it's going to be completely protected. So I'd like to just wanted to point that out, that we have that in the client system pockets. If you'd like to go to the next one. Thank you, Frank. Awesome. All right, Marcus, I heard you say, well, you wrote in there, impressive. I'm impressed too. I think these are really cool initiatives that we have with carrying cases. Here you'll notice all of our Dell cases portfolio. We have form fits for our Latitude 7220 detachable. We have briefcases, sleeves, messenger bags. Again, all of these options are what we offer with Dell branded cases. If you want to go to the next one. All right, and logo options. We can logo any one of our cases. The cases that you see on the screen. We team up with 3 different manufacturers, and we offer heat transfer and embroidery options. We just need that vector file. We can get a mock-up for you, and you can see what it's going to look like. You can see where the placement is going to be. But again, this is very popular. Our minimum quantity order with one of our manufacturers is 60 units, and it's a 4 to 5 week turnaround. So this is a great option that we offer, and we get this question quite often. If you'd like to go, I think that may be it. That's it from me for carrying cases and active pens. Are there any questions? I haven't really followed the chat. I apologize.
There were a couple of questions. We have just about a minute, so maybe we can do those real quick. We had 2 questions on active pens. One question came from Gabriel asking if the active pen will work on AutoCAD or with AutoCAD.
I don't have that answer. I apologize. I'll have to get back to you on that.
Okay, and then one more question from Elwin is asking from use cases that you may have seen, are people replacing the mouse with active pens?
No, they're not. It's in addition to, yeah.
Okay. And we could take more of these questions offline. We are planning on taking all of the questions that you guys have put into the chat and putting them into an FAQ form. So that'll also be up on the Dell client community site, so you can access that in addition to our recording as well. But just want to thank everyone for joining us. Thank you so much to Frank and Sid and Kat. Thank you for your time today. Thank you, members of the community, for engaging with us and connecting with us. Hope you guys had a great time with us today, learned a little something, and were able to connect with members of your community. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.